Hello everybody, my name's Claire Hogg and I'm head teacher at St Thomas More Catholic High School in Crewe, which is part of the Shrewsbury Diocese. It's great to be with you today and I'd like to read chapter 69, To Whom Does God Grant Eternal Life? From the ACN Child's Bible. A lawyer, an expert in the law of Moses, tried to put Jesus to the test. He asked him, "What must I do to inherit eternal life?" Jesus asked, "What is written about it in the scriptures?" The lawyer replied, "You must love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your will, and with all your strength. And also love your neighbour as yourself." "You have answered rightly," said Jesus. "Do this and eternal life is yours." The man wanted to justify himself and said to Jesus, "But who is my neighbour?" Then Jesus said, "There was once a man on his way from Jerusalem to Jericho who was attacked by robbers. They took all he had, beat him, and left him lying half dead. A priest came by on the same road. He saw the injured man and continued on his way. Then a Levite came by, saw him, and did not stop. Finally, a man from Samaria, a foreign man, came by. He saw the man and the wounded man and took pity on him. He went up and cleaned and bandaged his wounds. Then he put the man on his horse and took him to an inn. Then he looked after him, and before he rode on the next morning, he gave the innkeeper some money and said, 'Look after him. On my way back, I will repay any extra expense you may have.'" Jesus asked the lawyer, "What do you think? Which of the three proved himself a neighbour to that man?" He replied, "The one who took pity on him." Jesus said to him, "Go and do the same yourself." This passage is sometimes known as the story of the Good Samaritan. You have to imagine a long, dusty road, which could be very dangerous, with robbers who are watching you as you travel by. The priest and the Levite were probably very scared and nervous about getting involved. I know I probably would have been. The other interesting point about this story is the man who was injured was a Jewish gentleman, and the Samaritans, they were not on friendly terms together. So you would have thought that the Samaritan man would have been the one that walked past rather than helped. Think about a time that you've helped somebody, maybe a friend or a member of your family. It's always nice to be nice to nice people. Jesus, others, yourself, it spells joy, and loving others really matters to God. However, being kind to family and friends, it isn't too hard, is it? And we can often represent it with love hearts and rainbows and all things nice. But loving means getting your hands dirty sometimes. It means loving people who are different to us, the lonely, the homeless, the prisoners, the refugees. Jesus asks us to love God, but he also asks us to love his people. All of them, no matter who they are. But how can we help people we do not know? We sometimes can distrust others who may not look like us or sound like us. But the Good Samaritan showed true love when he was willing to take some risks and get his hands dirty by helping the dying man. Jesus asks us to help everyone, regardless of where they come from or what they believe. Let's ask God to help us have that real love like the Good Samaritan in the parable today, which may get our hands dirty and may make us have to take risks. Each day, try and help someone in a random act of kindness. Let's begin with always meeting others with a smile, for a smile is the beginning of love.